Welcome everyone to the Confused to Focus Talks with Lakeisha. This is where we take a deep dive to understanding how we can break free from being stuck so we can be unstuck. I'm so excited for us to have this conversation today because it's going to be impactful. I promise you it's going to be great. Definitely, we're going to be talking about something that is truly transparent for me and always going to be for you as well. We're going to be talking about, honestly, breaking free from toxic patterns of the past and cultivating resilience and really understanding how we can do that in the year 2024, family. Resilience. When we talk about resilience, that is really, really great. Honestly, it's really to adapt and understand, to bounce back when challenging times happens, when adversities happen, and when we don't know how to regroup, when we have to persevere, and move forward anyways, no matter what's going on. Honestly, I believe that you'll all be able to be impacted by this message because I'm going to give a couple of tips and tricks for you to begin to move forward and understand how you can be so resilient, how you can be impactful, and how you can definitely dominate your year of 2024. Honestly, family, I'm so excited for this conversation. So make sure you grab a friend. Make sure you grab your paper, notebooks, your crayons that I always say, and coloring books where you can journal and draw. And definitely it's going to be impactful for you all to connect with someone. Don't forget to subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel. And don't forget to take a deep dive and have an open outlook in order to receive something great. Honestly, it's all about transforming your mindset, and it's all about being open and receiving what's going to be taught to you. If you only heard it for the first time, I promise you, you're going to hear it again and again and again. Always begin to replay positive patterns for your life, and always begin to replace positive graping in your life and understand how that's going to be great for you. You want to really transform the negative conversations in your mind into expose and adopt and receive positive transformation so you can regroup and understand you're brilliant. Definitely, I'm so excited for this conversation, family. I promise you it's going to be impactful. Make sure you connect with somebody that's going to resonate with this conversation. I promise you it's going to be great. I promise you it really, really will. Definitely, family. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got these questions, and definitely I got answers for them. So let's go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited for all of you to be here. So, like we were talking about resilience. And honestly, resilience is something that all of us can adopt into. A lot of times, we really just need to know ways for us to be able to bounce back when adversities come. We need to know how we can change our mindsets. We just need a few lessons. And honestly, this conversation is really going to be impactful for each and every one of you if you're dealing with hard times and difficult situations. Honestly, I'm so excited for this conversation. I'm always giving transparent conversations because I tell you about my story. I tell you about the things that I experienced and how I was able to bounce back and actually thrive today. So we got a few questions. It's about 4 to 5 questions, family, and I'm so excited to have them for you and with the solutions. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, family. So let's go with question number 1. How can practicing self-love contribute to breaking free from the toxic patterns? This is really great to understand that you can really do this. When you prioritize, the self-love that you want and definitely begin to have boundaries set in place, you can begin to actually achieve honest change moving forward. Honestly, when you recognize those negative patterns, because you got to recognize them first, you need to jot them down. I always say write them down on the paper and begin to understand how you want to change it into something that's going to be great for you. A positive words, positive ways of thinking. I hate myself. You hear that statement? Write that down. If you keep saying it, write it down and say something counter to that and say, I love myself. I can do hard things. I am built for this. I can grow into anything. I really can persevere, and I can actually overcome this challenge that I'm dealing with, and I can actually reach the heights. Begin to say that to yourself. Sometimes it feels different. Definitely if it's something new to you and that you haven't really began to say. But as you continue that pattern and continue saying those things that are counteractive from things that were, pretty much the way we used to say before, you're going to build a new pattern, a new way of thinking. And honestly, you'll begin to really enjoy it, and you'll begin to understand just how a benefit it is for yourself. Begin to have that self-worth. Because honestly, when you begin to focus on that, you begin fight anything that's opposing of that, and you begin to really build yourself moving forward ahead. I honestly believe that is your way to go. Begin to start today doing something different, family. I promise you it's going to be well with you. Number 2, what are some practical self-love practices that individuals can incorporate into the daily routine that they have? Yes, honestly, what you can do when it comes to your daily routines, you can begin to build something different, having a ritual that's going to be great for you, like a ritual of journaling. I truly love journaling because something about writing things down and really begin a process to make it something of a pattern for yourself. Begin to be creative. Listen, begin to get a notebook and dress it up. Dress it up in your favorite colors. Begin to do like some creative drawings on top of it. Honestly, dial it up, glitter it up, whatever it is, girls, ladies, and guys, definitely make it look very, masculine for yourself, and begin to empower yourself to make it like a personal expression of yourself. Honestly, that's going to be great for you when you begin to adopt it and take control of the way you're thinking. Honestly, that is really a great way of really creating new results for yourself. When you begin to own it, you'll begin to have this daily routine that's going to be a benefit for you. You begin to be encouraging in it. You begin to get excited about it. And you begin to really want to do it all over again each and every day. Honestly, starting in the morning, then finishing in the evening, and even going into midday. Honestly, begin to have that type of ritual, and you'll begin to have a building blocks on your life, and you'll begin to have something that's going to be great for you, and something that is going to really manifest into a great productive day. When you start in the morning, I'm gonna tell you a trick. When you start out in the morning, before you do anything, begin to jot down the things that you want to do, that you want to achieve. Honestly, if you want to achieve, making sure you get breakfast done, making sure that you get dinner done, make sure you mow the lawn or whatever it is. Make sure you cook for somebody, or make sure you support another friend. Just going off on whatever that you plan to do. Write those down. Honestly, you're going to achieve great success. You're going to achieve multiple ways of learning. And honestly, that's going to be self-worth and self-love for yourself. It's going to achieve greatness, and you're not going to be thinking about anything negative at that moment, because you're going to be in action and thinking about how you can persevere doing that new way of thinking. Rituals are great, but when you practice rituals that are great for you, that's actually going to be positive for you, honestly, you're just going to continue to win, and you're going to continue to persevere and continue to build. And guess what? You're going to tell a friend to do it too. I believe that is a great work for yourself. Number 3, definitely when you are dealing with self-love with individuals and how to overcome self-doubt and negative self-talk, you definitely want to be able to do that, right? Yeah, that's right. When you begin to think about how you can strategize how to have self-worth and self-love and counteract the self-talk talk to yourself, honestly, you can begin to think about that. So let's go into it. Self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? I love myself. Versus, saying anything opposite of that. The opposite would be, I don't like myself today. I don't feel good about myself. I don't think that I do great things. I think this is a sabotage. Honestly, I really believe I'm not built for this. Begin to counteract that and say the opposite. Say that I can do hard things. I am strong for this. I'm creative for this. I'm made for this. Begin to say that each and every day about yourself. That's how you can fight against negative talk. You can fight against anything opposite of what you know that you are, because you are worth it. Honestly, you can do anything. You can do any great things. I promise you, it's made for you. It truly is. I love this. I truly love this. Number 4, definitely, what are the steps that individuals can cultivate in understanding how to be more compassionate and empowering the inner dialogue? Yeah. Definitely, when you begin to understand this, engage in the positive talk like we were talking about before, and begin to practice self-gratitude. Begin to surround yourself with great things that are support system. support system is great, and begin to understand just how beneficial it is. Begin to focus on the type of people that are around you. Understand the type of people that are around you really does counteract and does tell you who you are. I'm going to say that again. The people around you really does let you know who you are and who you really to be around. Honestly, if you look at the friends that you're connected with and the friends that you're receiving knowledge from, those are the friends that are really does impact you and really mirrors who you are. Are they friends that are actually powerful, that are saying great things? Or are they friends that are not saying great things? Are they friends that are really saying mean things to themselves? And guess what? Are they friends that actually saying things that are actually really going to hold them down? You know, saying words that are not great for you, like really saying derogatory words and beginning to think those are fun. Honestly, those are really not fun, honestly, because sometimes we can become so comfortable and so immune to doing things that are opposite of what is great for us. We begin to actually say those are the positive parts of us, when honestly, those are really holding us down. They're negative parts of us. Begin to look out and see about those particular areas and begin to really just write it down. Like, is this benefiting me at all? Is this something that is really going to really help me by saying these words or by flowing in this particular way? Honestly, when you begin to write it down and actually just begin to look at some of the things that are happening and begin to observe your surroundings, because you are what you think about, no matter if you like it or not. So begin to understand that you can actually change the scope of anything. If you don't like the scene, if you don't like what is happening, if you are not interested in what's going on because it's not feeling good and fun, begin to do the opposite. Begin to say things that are great. Begin to connect with friends that are actually powerful. Honestly, just look at the way things are happening with others. Begin to say, man, I really like that they're doing. They're really achieving great goals. Let me look at them. Let me look at them some more, because what I'm doing right now is really not being an impact for myself. Begin to say things like that to yourself and begin to take a look at how you can begin to connect with those friends as well. Because those friends are always happy. They're always joyful. They're always smiling, and they're always doing great things. Begin to surround yourself around them versus think people that are not doing great things, even if they're close family members, even if they're close friends that really was connected to you for years. A lot of times when people are connected with you for years, you feel like you are mandated to be around them. Honestly, that is not true. You're not mandated to be around anything or anyone that is going to really bring you really down and really are gravitating negativity towards your environment. You have a choice to choose what you want to do. If you're in an area where you want to do something different, begin to relocate into areas that you can do great things. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave the state, but that does say that you can leave the scene of where your current surroundings are. You know, honestly, you can begin to adopt new platforms and new ways of thinking when you receive great information and great results in those areas. Honestly, change the scope, begin to prioritize and make sure you put yourself first. If you want to do something great, you can do it. I always say, if you need to go on the airplane, you know, the instructor always says, put your mask on first before someone else. Always choose you. Always know that you deserve it. You deserve doing great things. You really, really do. Honestly, I believe that'd be great for you. You can choose to be resilient. You can choose the resilience of yourself. Your self-worth deserve it. You deserve to build. You deserve to have great manifestations in your life. You deserve it. I'm going to say that again. You deserve it. A lot of times we may not believe we deserve it because we don't hear it all the time. But if you don't hear it and you hear it from me first time, I'm telling you, you deserve it. You can do great things. You can do the hard things in life. You are an overcomer. You are magnificent. You are great. Tell yourself those types of ways of thinking, affirmations. Record yourself. Honestly, if you hear it every now and then, you need to hear that on a repeated basis. Honestly, make that a pattern that you definitely want to continue to move forward in. I promise you, it's going to really cultivate a great way for you. It's really going to change the way you're doing things, your surroundings. And honestly, when you begin to say great things about yourself, it's really going to honestly gravitate great things coming back to you. Whatever you say, it comes back to you. I really believe that. So I will say, begin to say the great things that you want. And I promise you, it's going to reap a harvest for you, and it's going to come back to you 100-fold. I believe 100-fold. Definitely, honestly, family. One thing that I would say, there was some time, in my life that, I understand when things were not easy. Honestly, when I would tell my story as far as when I was in a hospital, when I was so overwhelmed with stress, that was real, family. And there was times where, I would look back and I would have friendships that really were not great. Honestly, when I would think about the words that we would say and the things that we would do, I would realize that it was not really reaping a harvest for myself. I really didn't enjoy it. I would stay because I thought that I owed them. I owed them to be around them. And I realized that that was not good at all, because it did not reap me a harvest that I really enjoyed. Honestly, it reaped me a lot of doom and gloom. It reaped me a lot of negativity. Honestly, it really just made my body decline. I was not slothful. I was just really worried all the time. I was feeling like really at a position where I could not grow. I could not do anything. But at the same time, I still had to continue to function. It was not pleasing at all. Understanding, when I began to realize that I wanted to do something different, and that's what I had to honestly own up in myself. I wanted to do something different. Now, this is when I was in the military. Honestly, I realized that certain areas that I could not be around, I had to stop being around. I realized that as me being a leader in the military and someone that others looked up to, I had to read the right things in front of them. I had to make sure that everything was aligned, that I was able to change. So by changing the way I was thinking, it would, pretty much was mandatory. I had to begin to journal, like I love to journal. I had to begin to say great things, which I love to say great things, but I began to say it in a process daily, over and over again. I didn't let it up. I had to make that a routine for myself, and I had to understand how it was a priority for me to say, choose love first, choose self-worth first. I had to begin to say, I'm not going to actually do this bad thing right here, and I'm not going to accept being around the people that are going to be doing those things. I'm going to say that I love myself. I'm going to tell others that I choose not to do the things that you're doing. So by doing that, I did not accept invitations that were not going to be pleasing for myself. While I understand that you're having a great event and that you're going to certain places that sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting, but honestly, it's not pleasing to me. So I really appreciate if you would just really do great things for yourself by not saying negative things. I would say the positive things. Always say great things for yourself. I would have to say that, first of all, to myself first, and then to the other people. Honestly, they were not pleased, but at the same time, they understood and they had to respect me because I chose to speak up and choose myself first, because I really had to understand that my surroundings and things that was around me is what is really my business. It's my responsibility. So I had to begin to be the leader that I was and began to adopt a new way of thinking, a new walk, and began to say, listen, if it's just me by myself for a little while, that's what's going to have to be, because I like feeling joyful. I like feeling happy. So I began to understand that. So being happy is really great, honestly, because it's really going to reap a harvest of gratitude and around connections that you're really going to benefit from. Honestly, it's a process that's really going to definitely connect opportunities for you as well. It's going to connect opportunities from others that they're going to bless you with, and they're going to really begin to enrich your business, your family, the connections that you have. Honestly, goodness is really what's going to greatly benefit you. Honestly, when you begin to sow goodness, it's going to come back to you. When you begin to sow acts of kindness is going to come back to you. Anything you bring out is going to come back. So begin to take an observation as far as what you're putting out there in the world, and begin to understand that, what you are creating is really what's going to reap back. So that's what's going to be great for you. So just understand that. So it's so important for us to always begin to be able to understand how we can be able to build for our own existence and our own reality and our own surroundings. You can begin to think about the things that you want to change in your life. You can start off there. Start off small. Begin to say great things about yourself. I can do great things. Begin to say that. Begin to say, I am loved. Begin to say that. I am worthy. Begin to say that. Begin to say that I can create a great existence for myself, and I stand on that. Begin to say that. I promise you, your words are powerful. Begin to write those down. All those affirmations, all those gratitude statements, begin to write those down. Begin to understand just how great you are and how you're able to do great things for yourself. As you begin to start that process, and you begin to understand who you are and begin to say the great things that's going to be a benefit for you, honestly, that's resilience, family. That is resilience. You can counteract anything. You can overcome anything. And honestly, you can create anything. And I believe that is going to be a great resource for you. I appreciate this time, family. This is great for us all today. So this is all really just talking about a process that I really believe all of us should live today. Honestly, when we began to understand just how to nurture resilience and understand that we can combat that and understand how we can combat with from the negative talk that we used to say, honestly, you can break the mold. You can break anything. You can begin to adopt a new way of thinking. That's how you can start off and begin to build. And that's how you can start off with self-love and self-respect for yourself. Honestly, it's really going to grow for you. I really enjoyed this time, family, with you all. I just appreciate that we can always cultivate a great space for each other. Make sure you invite a friend to this amazing podcast on the Confused to Focus Talks with Lakeisha and begin to understand how you can achieve success for yourself by taking your wins, taking those wins, write those wins down. I got up today. That was a win. I began to bake that I didn't bake in a long time. That's a win. Begin to say, I actually called somebody today and told them how great they are. That's a win. Begin to think about all of those wins that you are winning. I promise you, that's just going to build your existence. And honestly, it's going to be great for you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming to this episode today, just talking about how we can definitely benefit from, our resilience that we want to have, and definitely for us to combat the negative, toxic patterns of the past. We don't have to live there, but we always can live and understanding our existence is going to be great. I really appreciate this time, family. So this is what I will like to say. I have a great, great opportunity that is showing this month, and it's going to be great. And it is the Unlocking Self-Love, the Love Again Masterclass. And it is a 5-week masterclass that is going to be starting on April 25th, and it's going from May 25th. And this is going to be great, great conversation that we're going to have together. And we're going to be able to unlock a lot of things that we need to unlock, family. Honestly, it's the patterns in life that we probably really have not understood how to break it free. But we're going to talk about it in this masterclass. So it's going to be 5 weeks. Like I said, the first week is going to talk about how we can focus on understanding the patterns. The second week is going to talk about how we can help break free from the cycles of life. And then week 3, we can talk about how we can establish healthy boundaries, because that's going to be great for all of us. Week 4, definitely we're going to take a deep dive in understanding how we can implement these strategies and how we can overcome, how we can build from it. And honestly, week 5, come on now, week 5 is my greatest week ever. It's taking action and implementing the strategies that we have learned and how we can research how we can have lasting change. The whole point is to really have a lasting change, a lasting scope of life. We don't want it to just be one time doing this. We want this to be a lifetime. And we want to have those strategies, how we can continue to reoccur all of this over and over again. And guess what? Also, how we can connect with other people, how we can show others how they can build as well, too. This amazing masterclass is going to be in Zoom format. And it's going to be a great time for us to connect together. We're going to have definitely activities, and we're going to have definitely process, and we're going to be interactive together, building together, family. It's really going to be a great win. And it's going to be on Eventbrite, family. And it's going to be a powerful experience. Like I said, it's going to be April 27th through May 25th. It's going to be a great, great time, family. I really appreciate each and every one of you. So this is the time that we have, family, together. I just really appreciate this time connected with each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel and make sure you bring a friend the next time. Like I said, this particular conversation on the Confused to Focus Talks with Lakeisha airs on Thursdays, every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's on, of course, YouTube. And definitely is always broadcasted on all places that social medias are at. I'm so excited about it. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, family. Definitely this time together, we're building. We are constantly building, and we're going to be able to achieve success moving forward. And I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon channel as well, too. And don't forget to connect with me on LakeishaMosley.com, definitely for all other resources that I have, all of the classes that I have, and all of the programs that are going to be implemented throughout the year of 2024, family. And listen, don't forget, make sure you connect with So Rockstar t-shirt. So Rockstar t-shirt, family, is on the website on LakeishaMosley.com. Definitely on the merch site. You have to go ahead and subscribe and get your t-shirt, family, in all sizes, all for the ladies. And it's going to be great. We have it in this amazing color, pink, and definitely have it in blue. And it's going to be a great time. Get a shirt for your friends and family as well, too, because we are so rockstar. Honestly, let's go ahead and quote this quote. We are so rockstar, because you really are a rock star. You can do anything. You can definitely create anything, and we can always do great things together. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here on this amazing podcast, family. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. So you already know how we end the show. And all we do, lead with confidence, understanding, and love always. Make sure you be blessed and understand that your greatness is here with you. I'd love each and every one of you. Have a great day.